तब कथामृतम तप्त जीवनम कवि विड़ीडितम कल्मषापहम श्रवणमंगलम श्रीमदाततम भुवि गृह्णन्ति भुरिदा जनाः। Let us resume our discussion on Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual discourses with his intimate devotee, Sri Mahendranath Gupta. When Sri Mahendranath Gupta visited the Mahendranath, the homeopathy doctor, Mahendranath Bhattacharya, and then Sri Ramakrishna instructed him to discuss with him the doctrine of avatar. This we have been discussing for several weeks. The importance of avatar. God descends on earth and he goes back to his abode. And every time, depending on the need of the age, he takes birth. So this time also we believe that Sri Ramakrishna is the latest incarnation of God. So that's why we are discussing the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. What is his way so that we can attain freedom of life? Let us first reiterate, review once again what is the goal of our life. Everyone has a particular agenda, but that is the short-term goal. There is an ultimate goal of life of all human beings, a common goal. Everyone has an individual goal, different from others, but there is a common goal. Common goal means everyone has a common beginning. The beginning is the adoption of a human birth, a human form. We have to remember and acknowledge we are not these bodies. Creatures are appearing in different forms, in human or beast and bird. The form is variant, but the inner being, the Atman, which is not the form. As we have a body, but we have our Atman residing within this body. जिसको देह और देही कहलाता है। हमारा एक शरीर है, हम शरीर के भीतर रहने वाले शरीरी हूँ। I have taken this body, we have to remember, we have taken this body for a purpose. And what is the nature within the shariri? The body, we know, it has certain norms. It is subjected to certain changes. क्योंकि कहलाता है षड विकार. This body is temporary. It has 6 transformations, 6 stages. 6 अवस्था होता है. फिर जन्म, फिर स्थिति, देन इसका वृद्धि, देन जाति, वर्धते, स्थीयते, परिणामते, अपक्षीयसे मर्त्यते. 6 because. First it is born, then it grows, stays, then it changes. The body changes from childhood to adolescence, adolescence to youth, youth to old age. Different changes in the body are seen. But the Atman within is changeless. It doesn't change. And ultimately, it is subjected to disease and death. Old age, disease, death. And this is hold for a temporary period. Now this Atman within, which is changeless, it is a different characteristics. The body is subjected to heat and cold, misery and grief, happiness and suffering. And it is inert. But my real being, which is conscious, Chetan, which never changes, it has a different characteristics. Its nature is Sat Chit Anand, knowledge absolute, bliss absolute, and existence absolute. It never dies. It is ever existing, ever happy, ever glorified, all blissful, all knowing. It does not require anything. Now please try to understand. This body is variable, subjected to death and disease, whereas the person residing within this body is changeless, is ever blissful. Now the question is, why this ever blissful Atman has chosen to enter into this body and accept the suffering of this world? This world is a food of suffering, that we know. संसार में कोई सुख नहीं है. Sukh is temporary. We have to understand what is Sukh, what is Anand. In this world, whatever package we are given as Anand, is all bogus, is grief only. Because Anand has 3 dimensions. In the Upanishad it says, Jo bhai bhuma tat sukham, nalpe sukham asti. सुख किसको कहलाता है? जो अनंत होगा, अनएंडिंग होगा, निरंतर होगा, कि उसमें कोई कष्ट नहीं रहेगा. Now compare, anything you get in this world, does it exist forever? It is temporary. Because it is enjoyed by our sense organs, which is limited. It has a capacity. And we get tired. And when we get tired and we are not able to enjoy further, there is frustration. We go on eating. We like food. Food is available. But there is a time when your stomach will refuse. Then you want to eat more, but you cannot. There is frustration. So this body is a limitation. through this limited body you cannot have unlimited joy. Contradiction of the term. So we are bliss personified. We want enormous joy, and by mistake we want to achieve this joy through this body, which is never possible. And when we know this fact, that this what we want is not achievable by this body, by whatever method we do, money or wealth or enjoyment, whatever is not possible, then the question is, why have we taken this body? You shouldn't have taken this body. It's not possible. So this question has to be first resolved, that why are we voluntarily, by our own will, have assumed this body? What is the purpose? The most important question of life. What is the purpose of an infinite Brahman? That what is our real nature? That our Anand Sarup, Satchidanand, that is our real nature. Satchidanand, that is our real nature. Why has it taken this limited human body to voluntarily go through this course of suffering, not only for once, for births together? One birth is not over. As soon as one birth is over, you take another birth. So ad infinitum, for infinite number of births, we go on suffering. Why? The question has been answered by Shankaracharya. Jivan mukti sukha prapti hetabe janmadharinam. That infinite Atman has no other purpose to be born within a human body except for one reason. It is free. It wanted to have that joy of freedom while living within this human body. While living within this human body, the Atman wanted to have that joy of freedom. That is to realize it is not this body, it is beyond this body. We have various degrees of joy, but when it is the joy of self-realization, the joy of God, that is called God realization, that cannot be compared with any other joy. So to enjoy that enormous bliss with God, we have assumed this human body. That we have to understand. So our goal is to realize, taste the joy of freedom, the joy of realizing what we are. We don't have to achieve anything beyond our capacity. We are. We have to realize what we are. Unfortunately, having assumed this human body, we have forgotten our identity. We have forgotten what we are. Everyone thinks he is a tiny creature, he is a sinner, he or she is a sinner, he has a limited body, limited life. It's all bogus. We are all free, we are infinite. So unless we realize our identity, unless we realize what we are, it doesn't help us. We are all hypnotized. As Swami Vivekananda says, we are hypnotized. Being free, we think we are bound. Being Amar, we think we are Maranshil. The job is to de-hypnotize ourselves. We don't have to realize God. God is within us. But you have to uncover that cover of ignorance that we are tiny, puny beings. So what is the way out? Statement of fact is clear. What is the goal of our life? Why have we been born? We have been born to taste the joy of freedom while living in this body. When you are dead and gone, then we miss the mark. For that we didn't get the body. Some people take another body in order to continue this run. But whatever it is, our present goal of life is to realize this freedom while we are in this body, and in a limited time, a limited capacity. But it is possible. How is it possible? That method is shown by God Himself. God comes to this earth taking a human body, assuming a human body. He is not born like you and me. He assumes a body, prakat ho jate hain, because he is free. He takes this form human body to show us how to get out of this mess and reach the goal. So Sri Ramakrishna likewise came, like many before. He is not the first person who came as in the earth as God incarnate. He came, and in present day he showed the method how to get freed of this bondage. So he says one of the methods, easy methods, is to take hold of the life and actions of the incarnations of God. That is his message in this present context. He says, you tell the scientist, the doctor, that God descends on the earth to help us, to redeem us, to make us free. That is the purpose. So our job should be to be acquainted with His life and teachings so that we can become free. And that is the method, he says, Bhagavan, Sri Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma chame divyam jumam vetti tattvataha tvakta deha punarjanma naiti mamiti sanjuna. If a person is well acquainted with my life and activities, then he is not born again. He gets this knowledge just by adhering and remembering and studying and thinking of the life and actions of any of my past incarnations. In this context, Sri Ramakrishna says, how will we know? Otherwise he tells us. The God has taken this form of Sri Ramakrishna is telling, you tell Dr. Sarkar that जो जगत को तारण करते हैं वही अवतार है, वो तारते हैं, हमें उद्धार कर देते हैं, हमें वो ज्ञान प्रदान करते हैं. कौन सा ज्ञान? मैं मुक्त हूँ, मैं बद्ध नहीं हूँ. ये ज्ञान दिलाते हैं, न केवल थियोरिटिकल, it should be practical, it should be felt at every moment of our life. हमें दिखाई पड़ना चाहिए that मैं मुक्त हूँ, मैं आनंद में हूँ. भीतर का जो आनंद है वो अनुभूत होना चाहिए. Religion is realization. Swami Vivekananda says. Most of us think that religion is a bunch of opinion, rituals and books, and we fight with each other. It's all ridiculous. Religion is not a bunch of books or theories or dogmas or rituals. Religion is realization. Every religion takes us to the same goal, which is realization. What to realize? I am free. I am blissful. I am Satchidanand. So that goal is clear now, and every religion says the same thing in different languages. So let us not waste time in religious bogus quarrels. Take up any method and follow. The easiest method has been shown by Sri Ramakrishna here, saying that you stick his telling the retelling, not the first time. It's been said in Bhagavad Gita. He is repeating. Think about the incarnation of God. But here he is not dogmatic. He is not saying think about me, because he is one of the incarnations. He says there are 10 avatars, there are 24 avatars, there are asankha avatars. Normally in the Hindu philosophy you get Dashavatar. And then there is in the Bhagavatam it is told about 24 avatars, 24 incarnations. And there are also, beyond the 24 incarnations, there are many incarnations of God. Like Sri Ramakrishna himself has not been mentioned as an incarnation. He says that there are many incarnations of God. You take up one and follow. What is to follow? You discuss, you think, study, know about his life and teachings. So herein comes the relevance of discussion of the incarnations of God. About these 10 avatars from Puranas, thousands of years ago, that has been fortunately recorded in our old scriptures. One of the most authentic sources is Srimad Bhagavatam. There are 18 Puranas, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the most important Purana, because Bhagavatam, see, Bhakta and Bhagavan are same. It's the book of God. In this book, there are mention of all these different incarnations of God. And in this sequence we have started the discussion of 10 avatars to begin with. Subsequently we take up other descriptions of avatars. But we have to understand the benefit of discussing these old stories. Studying the biography of historical persons increases our knowledge. But studying the life and teachings of an incarnation of God enables us to reach God. This is not a secular activity, this is a spiritual activity. Study of history increases our knowledge, and study of the life of avatars makes us reach God. This is the difference. It is not waste of time or bogus discussion and fantastic tales of story. Achi may write, it may sound fantastic stories. But every life of an avatar had a message which should be culled and implemented in our life. Then only the study becomes relevant. Now here we have already discussed about 10 avatars. First avatar was considered the fish god, Matsya avatar, which we already discussed. The Bhagavan appeared as a big fish, and during the Pralaya Kal, everything was drowned. So he saved the world and then gave the message that how to increase our devotion to God. The next in the series is Kurma avatar, which we'll discuss briefly today. Kurma avatar means God appeared in the form of a tortoise, कछुआ. कछुआ का शरीर धारण करके भगवान आए थे. क्यों? To save the world. Each time we'll see, for the advent of every avatar, there is a reason for his coming, and whenever we are in distress, God appears to help us. The great message, whenever there is any global disaster, we need not worry. God is there, going to take care. Similarly, when we have an individual disaster, personal problem, we should not worry. The same God is within us, He will take care. So that confidence, that viswas, that grows by the study of these lives of the avatars of God.
Few years ago, there was a corona. The threat of a global disaster. Everyone was panicked. But those who are believers of God, they are not at all panicked. They know that there is a God in this universe who is controlling everything. He will take care. He has taken care for thousands of years. That gives us the confidence. See, not in this time. Many times before, there were such disasters in the world, and every time God came as a rescue, because He is ever awake. He never sleeps. He is taking care of this machinery. Whenever there is out of order, sets it right. So now, when this, after the spell of the Matsya avatar, then what is the story of this Kurma avatar? It starts with this, that, and all these avatars are thought of the Bhagavan Vishnu, the Supreme God. There is one God in this universe, for all beings, for all religions. God is one, and human beings and many, they are all connected with the same God. Ekam Sat Vipra Bahuda Badanti. That's what Rigveda says. So the story goes this way, the Purana, Vishnu Purana and Srimad Bhagavatam, the Durvasa Muni was going and he saw a beautiful lady who was wearing a beautiful garland. She wanted to have that garland, so immediately that lady offered. He asked, and the lady offered. प्रणाम करके उनको चरणों में पुष्पांजलि दे दिया, बोला लीजिए आशीर्वाद दीजिए, तो आशीर्वाद करके चले गए. Durvasa Muni is a saint, he is a wandering saint, thinking of God only. And then when he was proceeding, he saw the gods, Devaraj Indra, proceeding with his big elephant Airavat. Durvasa respected the god, the king of God Indra, and offered him his flower, this garland. Indra accepted this garland and immediately put it on the neck of his carrier, that elephant, Airavat. Airavat in his turn, he doesn't know anything, who is giving or what not. He thought it's a bunch of flowers. That elephant put it under his nose, he smelt it, and seeing that it is nothing great, he just threw it on the ground. Seeing this, Durvasa was very much annoyed. He said, the garland what I have given is a token of Saubhagya, Lakshmi, fortune. You didn't understand. He told Indra, you didn't understand the gravity of the importance of the garland. It's because you are very egotistic now. Soon you will understand, you will be completely bereft of all your goodness, and you will be dethroned soon. Hearing this curse sharp, Indra got down from his elephant and then prostrated before the feet. But Durvasa did not pardon him. He said, you need some correction. Now see, in the story, whatever the gist is, it will continue, I will tell you, but see the power of the human beings and the power of the gods. Durvasa is a just simple human being, but he has such a power of purity, of austerity, of greatness, that even gods fell at his feet. And in order to restore balance, to correct people, these people go on everywhere. That's why it's called Basanta Bat Lokahitas Charanta. The sages, they roam around this world like the spring breeze. Basanta Bat, Basanta Vayu ke jise. Spring breeze, it travels everywhere and bestows goodness, prosperity and joy everywhere. But this time, in order to correct the king of gods along with others, he said, no, this curse will not be taken back. So he went away, and no sooner the gods lost all their grace, and the Danava hai, Asura hai, the demons, they took the opportunity and they threw him away. So the entire heaven was taken over by the demons. Gods are banished. Then they went, being helpless, to Vaikuntha Mahar, Bhagavan Vishnu, prayed for his help. Bhagavan Vishnu said that you are not having power because you are mortals. You have to become immortal by drinking the nectar which is available at the bottom of the ocean, Kshir Samudra. If you chant the ocean, then that nectar will come up and you can drink that, and then that is only your way out. Always, whatever you go, wherever you go is what temporary. There is no solution. You will suffer. But make friends with the demons and make them agree to chant this ocean to bring out the nectar which is at the bottom of the ocean. When it comes, you can drink it. I will help you and become immortal. Then this problem will be over forever. Never before, never again, these demons will be able to overpower you. Now he is hearing his counsel, they agreed, and they went to the Daitaraj Bali. Bali was the king of the Asuras at that time. They gave an offer that Amrit will be available and we both will share. Seeing their prosperity in a shared fashion, they agreed. Baliraj agreed. So then the Asuras and the Devas, they were making preparations for this Samudra Manthan, charting the ocean with, they need a post, dand, Mathani. So Mandarachal Parvat was selected. And Bhagavan said, you take the snake, the king of snakes, Basuki, as the rope, and you chant the ocean, nectar will come. So they agreed and they took Mandarachal Parvat to the ocean. But when they started, then first of all, the Asuras, they said that we do not like this end of the snake, we will go to the front. They was agreed. But the Asuras were fools. They took the front part of the snake, and each time the snake was ejecting poison and they were suffering. So that gives the message that Asuras is our demonic propensities. We have two propensities within us, Deva Asura. In the Bhagavad Gita there is a chapter, Deva Asura Sampad Vibhaga. Within us there is goodness and badness. The bad qualities provoke us, and due to which we suffer. Good qualities take us to our greatness, to freedom. So now when this chanting started, then what happens? The Mandarachal Parvat started to go down doesn't support. And the whole effort was spoiled. So then again they approached Bhagavan, and Bhagavan then said, all right, I will appear as the base of this churning process. So Bhagavan appeared as a tortoise. This is the genesis of Kurma Avatar. So Bhagavan appeared as a tortoise, great tortoise, spread over miles. And that was used as the base. Tortoise cannot die, cannot be drowned, tortoise float. They came on this, and then Mandarachal Parvat was fixed on it. So on its back, on the back of the tortoise, the mountain was fixed and the churning process started. And then gradually various elements came, very costly elements, the Vairavad, then Uchcheshtava, Kamdhanu, then Lakshmi, and ultimately that Amrit was found and it was distributed to the Devas and they were saved. Now the story says whenever this creation was in distress, it was about to be resolved because Mandarachal Parvat was being drowned, Bhagavan came forward in the form of a tortoise and helped both the Asuras and Danavas to continue their march towards success. And it is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam that God's power is so great that He was not at all being subjected to any grief. Rather, He felt some good sensation on his back, for which he went to become drowsy and his breath becomes long. It is long breath, the water of this ocean became irregular with the force of his breath. So waves started. So that's why it is said the ocean is ever full of waves. The waves are generated by the irregular breathing of God of that time. So it gives an indication. It said that we should always have that feeling that God's breath is always with us. He is helping us. Every moment we should never think that God is gone. Since that time till now and again in future, God gives by His change of the pressure, wind pressure, the feeling that I am always with you. So this discussion of the incarnations of God should be kept in our view and used it in our day-to-day activities so that we can become ultimately free in this very world. And the next chain in the sequence is Varaha Avatar, which we'll take up in our next Sunday class, which will be about 3 weeks from now. Niranjanam Nityam Ananta Rupam Bhaktanukampadhrita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Any question? If you have any question, you can send me over email. We close now with the chanting of the Lord. Next week, we'll have the birthday celebration of Swami Vivekananda, a 9-day long program from 10th to 18th of January. Detailed program will be made available to you over internet and also signboards.
So next Sunday we'll have a talk, discussion on in the relevance of the program, Swami Vivekananda in the eyes of Sri Ramakrishna. Who was Swami Vivekananda? Viewed by Sri Ramakrishna. That will be topic of next Sunday's lecture here. And following Sunday there is a spiritual retreat. We'll have various programs which will be communicated to you in due course. The Sunday after that we'll meet again for the continuation of this topic. Let us close the discussion with the chanting of the Lord. Please join with me. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om.